that, but for the continent, it needs its population, human capital resource, because this is the only abundant resource. And it's the only resource that if we capitalize on, we are able to protect the future, secure today, and do anything with it because it is even beyond the dollar that we are pegged to. So I'm so happy that you're having this topic, especially when it comes to rural areas. And I feel like for a development to set in a rural setup, one critical thing is mapping to know the social, cultural, any form of barrier that is there, and knowing what you really think about them, then giving them the mouth to speak for themselves and creating for them a framework that goes beyond what they can see. Yeah. But where they can start is good. But what they can, let me say, they don't have to see everything, but they have to subscribe to a step. So each and every time we're able to open up and they're able to, because our society will never understand everything at once. That is the problem. So we have to go step by step because we know where we are taking or we are shaping the direction to go to. So our commitment is to create a very clear framework. A framework might not be on a project status or how long it takes, but it can be on the engagement. How many people have we engaged? Are we engaging the government? The type of coalition we create each and every time we go in a community is very, very vital because we might be going and doing all these, but at the end of the day, you realize that the people are not centered as the first priority. Yeah, we end up prioritizing what we think is 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 impactful and not what like the society thinks. So I think I just stop for there, but I'm happy with the topic and I'm also happy with the type of conversation that we are having. And when it's go to agriculture, I have to say this though, yeah. You get that even Africa, we control a very less percentage of our seeds, and you get that more of agriculture is now being turned to more of a service industry because there's a lot of markets or a lot of products that you have to buy to sustain what you are doing. Yeah. So at the end of it all, the input and the output is no much. Like they're almost equal. So you get that there's no any productive margin that is coming out to be implemented or used in the society. So as a continent, we need a very clear roadmap that is going to serve that is going to that is going to prioritize our sovereignty. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Victor Otiano. What do you say in your Swahili language? Asante sana, right? Thank you for that deliberation. It's very important that you noted and started rural diversification inclusion mapping. You said Africa will take a long way to unite. Yes, unity takes step by step, and it needs us to be included as a team, as oneness. It starts with us, and I still believe that as you were saying, my brother Victor, that the rural development, it is a personal emancipation that if it begins with us here, we take it to the rural regions, we empower them, we give them the right education, we shall reach that goal that and our mandate shall manifest. So we are left with just 12 minutes. Let me give others the time phrase. Mr. Tolani, then Mr. Yakubu will take over.
I can speak now.
Yes, you can speak.
All right, thank you. I'm Foka Yakubu from Ghana, but I'm living in Kenya. So, Victor, I'll look for you. Right, this is my first time here, but I like the program and I like the project, agriculture and the rural areas. Today, I don't want to say much. I just like the project. I like the concept. I like the project. I'm just observing and listening. But I want to ask the guy who spoke from Congo, Joseph. Congo has your land tenure system is, I just much interested in that, but I don't want to say much. This is my first time and I'm liking it more. I'm liking it so much. I just wish that we can reach a lot of people, villages across Africa. When I hear Africa, they say there's food hunger. People are hunger, especially the desert area. It breaks my heart. How can we have so much land like this and people are dying out of hunger? I think that's what I have to say today. Naomi, I hope you forgive me. Next time I can speak more small.
Okay, no problem, Mr. Yakubu. All opinions and suggestions are noted. Mr. Tolani, are you ready? And let me welcome our dear sister, Miss Tebogo Doreen from Botswana. You can take over, Mr. Tolani.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is well. My name is Daniel Bota. I am all the way from South Africa. So, yes, I think road development and agriculture for me are a very crucial element into, of course, improving the state of things when it comes to food security. As my good sir spoke about the DRC and what is happening in DRC, also very aware of the situation there when it comes to food security. I actually facilitated a deal regarding food security in DRC with one of the kings there. It was actually concerning Botswana as well, because Botswana is actually a good producer of livestock, which is beef or cattle, and they're also number one in the continent on salt production as well. So I facilitated a deal regarding that there. In South Africa, the landscape is such that when it comes to agriculture, what is this thing? The industry is owned by the whites who have taken over and more of the sole custodians of agriculture. To a point where even in the rural areas, you see a trend where it's like as if Africans or Black South Africans do not know how to farm. In most areas, we've lost the knowledge, and it's almost like it's been pounded out of us because of issues such as apartheid and segregation and so on and so forth, where most of us had to go to settlements that were, stifling us in any way, where we are unable to practice religion, rituals, and even to amass, livestock or even farming for that matter. So, in essence, I think every African state has got its own problem, and I'm talking on a local level in which it needs to be attended to in that fashion. If we are able to know the root challenge of each African state, of each African country and its problems, then we are able to sort that based on, of course, the resources that we can be able either to lobby, garner, or solicit. So there's a lot that needs to be done. In here, South Africa, South Africa is seen as a very developed country, but there's a lot that is going on that a lot of international society is not aware of. Even in the continent, the suffering that comes with, of course, not being able to grow your own food, the sense that we can't partake in that economically as well as Black Africans in that space. And yes, I agree with everyone else in the sense that it is a means, if we were to use agriculture as a means to, emancipate ourselves economically. Even agro-processing is becoming a very big value chain, a value in the value chain regarding food and agriculture. So, I think, if we put our minds together and just how we can solve our own problems, we actually a step forward to ensuring that we are able to sustain and grow and essentially do away with this food security issue that is really stifling most of us in the continent. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tolani, for such deliberation. There was a question that was asked to Mr. K. So let me give it to him so that he may tackle the question. Yes. Yes, thank you, Mr. K, for responding back to Mr. Yokubu from Ghana's question. All I can say is you all said it all, and when African minds come together to assimilate or give a deliberation, as Africa right now, we know that we are all going through, and they say we are all going through an economic recession after COVID, blah blah, all those reports. Some even saying it's very hard to find money, but like I said, Africa is very rich. We so many intelligent people. We just need to empower, train, recruit. At the end of the day, in the basis of agriculture, we need to create an economic hub for agriculture, for food production, so that at the end of the day, Africa turns into a business for us. But where do we start? We develop our rural areas. Let's take those services back to the rural areas where the soils are rich. Let me just say this, it may sound funny. I always say where the soils in another way are not defiled. Because we know that farming is most done in rural areas. At the end of the day, as Mr. Joseph has said, that we have government partnership. The agriculture that we have turned into business hubs will sponsor the quality of education that we want. The quality of education that we want will improvise our health system, better infrastructure. So I think we are the right mind for the sustainability of Africa. We need to start from the roots, which is the rural regions. We need to empower, especially the women, children, girls, the young boys, train the trainers how best we can inquire of how it is done. Let me take this moment to thank you all for participating in today's webinar. We are just starting, more is coming. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Today's session will be shared in our YouTube channel, and don't forget to share to your family, your friends, your workmates. We are just starting. The baby has just been birthed. Soon the baby will be walking, the baby will be speaking. So as a starting point, you'll be updated in our group how we are going to do our live witness. In most of the cases, soon we'll be inviting people, we'll be introducing more topics. So stay tuned for more. Thank you for your time, and thank you for joining CDI Pan-African webinar today. God bless you all and have a pleasant evening.